Hi friends, and a very warm welcome to my channel. My name is Mona, and in my videos I give out information that can help parents, caregivers of autistic children and children with other neurodiverse conditions to improve the lives of their loved ones. I am a parent of an autistic child myself, and I also have formal education in autism. In this video in particular, I wanted to talk about something that we as parents of autistic children may have felt in our parenting journey, and that is blaming ourselves or our parenting skills for our child's autism. Do you know that this feeling of guilt and shame that we have is actually related to a myth of autism called refrigerated parenting? Thank God that this myth doesn't exist anymore, but sadly it has had a significant impact, with the result that today we as parents still feel that blame and still feel that we are responsible for a child's autism. So let me explain that myth to you. This myth has its origins way back at a time when, in the early 1960s, when autism as a research subject was still in its infancy. So Leo Kanner, one of the pioneers of autism research, he started attributing that a child's behavioral disorder or their mental health conditions are a result of lack of affection and bonding of parents, especially the mom, towards her child. So Bruno Bettelheim, he was another psychologist, and he further disseminated this idea, with the result that it started becoming and started being accepted as common knowledge in the public that autism is caused by poor parenting. But fortunately, people like Lorna and John Wing from the UK and I believe Bernard Rimland from the US, who were parents of autistic children themselves and who were professionals in the field of autism, they heavily criticized this myth, and they stressed on that we need to get done and dusted away with this myth, because there is no evidence, no evaluation or no research study done that can establish that poor parenting is causing autism in children. Autism is in fact an intrinsic aspect of a child who is labeled as autistic, and parenting really doesn't have to do with causing autism in the child. So they actually really made a positive impact. They said that it's important that instead of blaming the parents, we need to shift this blame towards creating supportive structures and a support system for parents of autistic children. And now most of the research study that is studying whether parents have an attachment towards the autistic child or not, they have found that many parents have actually felt that their lives were enriched as a result of their child's autism. They feel more compassionate, more tolerant towards their child, and even though the study cannot be, it doesn't represent the entire cohort of parents of autistic children who may also feel quite stressed, but we do also need to bring this talk about these studies, because it's important when parents are feeling overwhelmed or when they are blaming themselves. There may be certain aspects which they are overlooking and not thinking about, and research studies like these, they bring out these positive aspects of parenting an autistic child. Some research studies have also been done which have shown that parents who have shown, especially moms, who have shown more understanding of their autistic child's point of view, and who have shown more resoluteness in helping their child get the right supports, their children have actually thrived in the later stages of their life. And parents who have shown more attachment towards their children, such children have not only they have not only initiated and responded in a two-way communication, but they've also shown signs of symbolic play. They have also shown imaginative thinking and many other positive aspects, which are signs that they are going to have a better quality of life in their adolescence and in their adulthood. So again, we should not be ignoring the idea that many parents may not have that internal capacity, mentally, emotionally or physically, to provide that kind of support to their autistic children. They may feel quite overwhelmed with the idea of how future of the autistic child would look like, what are the right supports that they need to give. And that's okay. It is something that parents can actually discuss with the therapist of their child, or whoever the professional that they are seeking help for their children, and let them know that they feel incapacitated to support their child, so that the professionals can tailor supports, can tailor interventions to support the family and the parents. Because without parents advocacy, without parents as a support system, a child who has been diagnosed in their infancy, we cannot see them thriving in their adult life. We need parents as their main as the main support system for them, especially when a child is quite young, and when they need that advocacy in community, in the schools. There needs to be someone who can speak for their needs and speak for their rights and advocate for getting the right supports for the child. So what I'm trying to highlight is that it is really important that parents find they develop that self-efficacy, they develop that skill to support their autistic child in the best possible way. So now I can talk about some of the ways that parents, when they're feeling quite overwhelmed, or when they feel that sheer sense of blame and guilt on themselves, what are some of the things that you can note down and jot down, and you can adopt to shift that focus from feeling guilty towards the stage where you feel that there is something positive that can be done to help yourself, your family, and your autistic child. So I would say that number one thing is, the reason why we as parents feel a lot of guilt is because there's a lot of negative association of autism. There has been a lot of stigmatization of autism as a condition. And the best way to get rid of that stigmatization is to talk to autistic adults themselves, because they, I believe, are playing a really pivotal role in dismantling this stigmatization, and they are talking about how autism is so strong as an identity, and how it has their diagnosis helped them live a truly positive life. So they can also be a really good source of information for parents who are seeking some support and advice as to how they can advocate for their child in schools and in the community. Another thing that that parents can do is that they can be part of a parents support network. So these are the parents who may have children on the autism spectrum or some other disability, and these parents truly understand the meaning of supporting each other. They know that that they can be part of a group which is not going to blame anyone, which is actually going to support, and which is actually going to probably share their own experience of how one strategy or one therapy worked really well for their child. And maybe another parent who find themselves in a really tight position, they can seek that suggestion, and you never know that it might help their child and their family to get the right support that they have been looking for in the long term. Other than that, I think professionals and pediatricians and GPs also have a pivotal role to support parents. And even though research has identified this gap, that most of the times pediatricians do not have the capacity either to diagnose a child or to suggest interventions to the parents. And that's something that probably they haven't covered in their professional studies, so they are not in that position. So it's really important that pediatricians are also equipped with the right knowledge to support the parents. Another resource that can be really helpful for parents when they are feeling quite overwhelmed is those parents who have been in this journey for quite some time. So they have been through the highs and lows. They have probably better understanding of the system that works in terms of providing the supports. and they can actually be a really helpful resource for parents who are feeling quite overwhelmed with their child's diagnosis. So hopefully this video was helpful for those parents and caregivers who may be feeling quite overwhelmed and blaming themselves or their parenting skills. But my idea behind this video was to encourage such parents to seek support, seek the right kind of professional support, as well as seek support from the autistic community, the autistic adults who are actually doing a wonderful job in dismantling many of the myths and also spreading out positive vibes about being autistic. Hopefully this video was helpful, and I'm going to see you in my next video. Till then, take care.